Hi Internet, it's Caesar on Toast, and today we're going to be taking a look at the mod Bullseye, which is part of the Proton pack, which I'm currently doing a survival playthrough. If you want to check that out, that's on my YouTube channel too. But without further ado, this mod introduces various useful and not so useful arrows to Minecraft. As you can see here, their recipes all involve a stick and a feather like usual arrows do, but instead of flint, each one takes a different kind of special item, and each one has its own unique effect. So I'm going to go through each one by one and show you what they do. So first we have the training arrow, which is crafted with a rabbit hide in place of a flint, and as you can see, each one does little to no damage, and so it's great for practicing your archery like I'm doing here. I should probably keep this sheep alive because, as you will see later, it will come in handy for another test. Second up, we've got an egg arrow, which you guessed it, uses an egg instead of flint, and this is basically a joke item that will fire baby chickens occasionally instead of eggs. So not useful at all for combat, but can produce some comical effects or tragic effects, as we've just seen. Next up, we have the extinguishing arrow, which I will go into my testing world to show you what that does. The extinguishing arrow, which is crafted with a water bottle in place of a flint, can be used to remove the dye from stained clay, glass panes, and remove torches. Not only that, but it is also able to extinguish fires in a 5x5 area, as you can see here. One final use of these extinguishing arrows is that they can turn lava into obsidian one block at a time. So not the most useful for that, but plenty of other practical uses of this arrow. Following on from that, we have our probably best combat arrow, which is the diamond arrow, crafted with a diamond in place of flint. This arrow does twice the amount of damage as a regular arrow, so is very, very useful for combat. I can't quite snipe that pig from this far away, but as you can see, it's very, very effective at what it does, which is just combat. There are no other added effects to this one. Next up, we have probably the most fun of all the arrows. This is crafted using dynamite, which is part of the Better with Mods mod, which we have shown in a couple other of my videos. So this one, you guessed it, is a bomb with a smaller blast radius than a piece of TNT, but still is very fun for decimating groups of mobs and terrain alike. However, one thing I thought that you might be able to use this kind of arrow for was mining, but unfortunately it doesn't have such a strong effect on stone, which you're witnessing here. It does only 1 or 2 blocks at a time, which is unfortunate, but again, has other uses in taking out groups of mobs and terrain if you want to get rid of a big dirt hill like this one in a fun and unique way. This is definitely one option of many. Moving on, we have fire arrows, which, you guessed it, set fire to whatever you hit, mobs and blocks. So if I hit this pig, he'll be roasted, and if he dies while on fire, he will give us some roast pork chops. There we go. Beautiful. Next up, after that, oh, by the way, this is crafted using hellfire dust, which can be found in the nether, I believe. Next up, we have ice arrow, which I was mistaken in thinking this was for combat. Just let me set time to day here. This is used for placing snow on top of blocks and ice, the frosted kind of ice, which is what spawns when you use Frostwalker, which gradually decays on water. So frosted ice on water, and I think it also turns regular ice into packed ice. So let me just check this here. And yes, it turns it into packed ice and puts a bit of snow on top. So that's pretty useful if you want to create packed ice and you don't have access to a ice spike biome. We're getting to the end of the list of arrows here now, and we've got the lightning arrow, which is very fun, but also probably the most expensive of the bullseye arrows, using a nether star to create 4 of them. Nether stars can be obtained by defeating the Wither boss, and as such are quite a rare and difficult to obtain item. As you can see here, it spawned in a bolt of lightning, which was able to turn this pig into a zombie pigman. Another practical use of this would be to turn a creeper into a charged creeper, which you might know is used to get mob heads, which among other uses for decorations and things can be used to craft banners. There are some unique skull patterns on banners that you can only get by getting a mob head. So that might be one particular use of the lightning arrows. Last but certainly not least, we have the dye arrow, which is very interesting. These come in lots of different colors, as you can see. Each variety of dye has its own arrow, and probably would assume that the dye is used in place of flint. So these can be used to dye sheep. They don't actually do a lot of damage to them, as you can see here, and so it's a useful way of branding your sheep from a distance. I'll go into my testing world and show you some of the other uses of the dye arrow. As you might have guessed, dye arrows can be used to dye all sorts of items. So I have a black dye arrow here. We can turn carpet into whatever color we want. I've just chosen black because it's simple to see against this white background. This is wool. We're turning that into black. Stained clay turns into the color. All of these different things can be transformed into whatever color dye you want from range, so and without using a crafting inventory. So these are actually very, very useful in case you change your mind about a color scheme. In addition, we saw that sheep can be changed, but the color of tamed wolves' collars can also be changed, and he hopped out of his cage there, but that's okay. He'll be friendly to the sheep. So ladies and gentlemen, that's it for the Bullseye mod, which is in the Proton mod pack, which I'm currently doing an LP of, if you'd like to check that out. If you really enjoyed this video, don't hesitate with clicking the like button. Maybe subscribe if you'd like to see some more. I'm also open to suggestions, leave them down in the comments. That's it for me for today. Thank you and have a good day. Bye bye.